A dream report is this. If you have one dream you want to analyze, and you don't want to just tell somebody, hey, I think your dream means this, kind of like Joseph did or Daniel did, but it may be more involved, or it may be a high-level government leader, and you may not be able to brief them in person, you'd probably want to write it down. If you would want to write it down, you'd want to have a format that you would write it down in. And so we created a format called the Dream Report. The Dream Report is modeled after a book on intelligence that I've read probably 40 different books on intelligence, the formation of the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, the National Security Council, briefing the president's book of secrets, and the interaction between the DCI, the Director of Central Intelligence, and the President of the United States. Why? Because I take what we're doing very, very seriously. So not only do we study scripture and we study how to hear the voice of God, we study how to be able to relate on a governmental level with some top people in security and intelligence in our nation and around the nations. Again, this is another thing that I believe really separates us from just traditional style dream interpretation. But not only can this be used in government, it can be used in all 7 mountains. And we have stories of how this has been used in finance and the entertainment industry. And there's some top people in music and Hollywood that I've had the privilege of interpreting dreams, some that I can tell you about, others that I really can't. But we got a lot of stories, and we got a lot of things that are really, really cool that we can share with you. Everything from working with Hollywood producers that are about to release a movie, to working with famous actors and singers, to churches, to pastors, leaders, hedge fund managers, CEOs of $100 million a year revenue companies, billionaires. Discussing dreams with billionaires is always a fun thing to do, and things like that. But I wanted to have a way that we could transport information from kind of my head or what I was feeling God was saying, and not just in a verbal way, because how many of you know if you write something down, it provides a level of seriousness to it that you're not going to get if you just tell somebody something in person or on the phone? And how many also know that you may get a dream across your desk that you don't have contact with the actual dreamer, but you know somebody that knows somebody, and they say, hey, my friend had a dream. And so it's better to write it down instead of telling and hoping that it gets back to the person the way that you said it. So I read the book, The President's Daily Brief. It's the most comprehensive intelligence report on the planet. The 17 known intelligence agencies in the U.S. arsenal submit their information to the Central Intelligence Agency, which by virtue of their name and their mission, they centralize that intelligence, and they put it together in a report that they put on the president's desk every morning by 6, 7, 8 a.m. And then they have a dedicated person that goes and briefs if the president would like an in-person briefing to provide that information to them. And this runs around the clock, around a cycle, 365 days a year, to get the best information and intelligence into the hands of the leader of the free world. And so my thought was, if we're going to do this at a governmental level, it would be really good to understand what format they like. So that's where the Dream Report was born. It was born out of a juxtaposition of the President's Daily Brief and Genesis 41, where Joseph interprets the not one but 2 dreams of Pharaoh.